Like, what in the world is that? I mean, they've never seen anything like it. Hey, this is Jason with Denwerks. I got something pretty cool here today to show you. It's a 1964 Nova station wagon, also called a Chevy 2, and I think this is the first year that they actually combined the names Chevy 2 and Nova. You can see right here on the emblem, you know, it says Chevy 2 and then Nova. These are really cool cars, and they're probably one of my favorite, actually. I think they started building these in '62, and this body style up to '65. And the next generation would have been 66 to 67. But anyways, these are my favorite, actually. I love all the windows. I love the look. And station wagons, you already know, are really, really popular. And you can see here, this one started life as a factory 6 and inline 6. But when we start it up, you'll probably notice it doesn't have that engine in it anymore. And so we'll just start here and walk around it and just show you different things. We've been doing a lot of videos and stuff, so I think videos give you another perspective of a car. You're still going to see all the still photos, but it gives me the opportunity to show you different things that, you know, maybe, you know, you can't convey in a photo, so, or even in a written description. But we'll look at it here, and I'll just show you some of the flaws and, you know, good and bad things. And the paint on it is actually older, and it actually looks really nice. But it does have some little scratches. It has little chips and little imperfections. We'll start here at the bumper. The bumper is actually pretty straight. You can see one little tiny ding right there, but has a little bit of you know, age to it. It's not perfect anymore, but it looks nice. You can look at the grill. It looks in pretty nice shape. You can see the lights. They're little turn signals. They've got little tiny little micro cracks in it. Pretty common. Little scratch right here, little scratch, a couple little tiny little rubs, little chip right there. Overall, I think it's just a nice quality, you know, driver. And for paint wise, you know, the body is actually really solid. Interior's nice, and mechanically in very good shape. And you look down the side, it's pretty straight. You can see a little bit of some little waves and stuff. Not perfect, but no one's probably ever going to say anything to you, because, I mean, it does look good. Up here on the hood, you can see some little tiny scratches on it. You know, it's almost like someone laid something on it, and probably someone with a really good buffer could probably do wonders with it. You can see a couple little bubbles right there on the edge of the fender. Couple little chips here around the headlight ring. It's got 15-inch wheels. The tires are staggered. It's got 185s in the front, 60 by 15s. It's got rally wheels. And those are actually fairly new. The tires are actually new on it all the way around. And I was out driving on some dusty roads. You can see they're dirty around the edges. So well, look here. There's a couple little. You can see a couple little chips. You can see a paint flaw right here, little chips right there. You know, little tiny bubble there at the bottom of the rocker. Overall, that's at the bottom of the door, sorry. You can see a couple little chips here. Overall, you know, structure-wise, body-wise, very nice condition. You can see a little chip right there, and you can see here on the chrome, it does have some little tiny pitting. Roof looks real good on it. You can see the roof gutters. This is really important on these cars. Actually, any classic car, there's no bubbling in the roof gutter. You know, those look really good and not rusty. And go ahead and look at the quarter panel. Here's the rear tire. It's a 215 65, and it's got a 185 on the front. And these fit really snug in here. You can see here there's no bubbles around the wheel lip. On the other side of the car, there's a couple little bubbles on the other side that I'll show you. We'll go ahead and look around the back here. It's got dual exhaust. You can see a little chip right here. You can see some little pitting and stuff on this piece of chrome across the back. Rear bumper is actually really nice condition, and I think that was probably redone at some point. And you can see here the trim is in good condition as well. And we'll show the windows and stuff operational and rolling up and down, and take a peek in the inside too. But for now, we'll go ahead and flip her around. You can see the other side. Hey, here we are on the back side here. I'm going to show the driver's side. You know, again, I just love the look of this car. And I love the white roof. I love the paint color, and I love the taillight panel being white as well. And just a cool car. You know, when you look down the side, like I mentioned before, on the other side, you'll see some little bit of waviness. Overall, it's not horrible, but it is a little bit wavy down the side, and especially when you look down lower. You can see here around the taillight panel, everything looks good. You can see here, there's a little dent right there, and looks like the bumper at one point, I don't think it was probably this bumper, just bumped that a little bit, and it is what it is. You can see here, and I'll put it on my lift so you can see it a little better. A couple little bubbles there, and a little crack right there. I think it's a crack in the paint there, and a couple little bubbles right there. But you know, when you repair, you know, if you decide to, I don't know if I would, but if you got that repaired in this, you're going to fix all that anyway. So easy to do because it's underneath the piece of trim here, and easy for someone to do enough. So we'll go ahead and show you the lights here. Why don't you go ahead and turn the lights on. There's the tail lights. Kind of hard to see out here in the sun. And go ahead and turn the blinkers on. Got to have the key on. There we go. Head left. Go ahead with the right again. You can see the right. And then also underneath here, the light does work underneath the license plate. And those are original plates that you would see on one of these in 1964. And it's got special interest plates on it. But those are original license plates that you'd see in 64 that would come on the car new. And the reverse lights don't work. They're not hooked up. It's not the same wiring as it would have had originally anyways. You can see some little cracks here in the lenses, same on both sides. And we'll show you the window working here in a few. You know, you look down the side, you know, around the wheel well looks good. The rockers, bottom of the doors. You know, again, some of the trim and stuff is aging a little bit, but overall in good shape. One thing it has going good for it is all the gaskets around the windows look really, really good. And they're not all cracked up. You can see a new gasket here around this window. You can see here around the wing window, it looks good. Around the front windshield, looks very good. Some little tiny minor cracks in the rubber, but it does stay dry inside. Things that I would probably change down the road is put some window felts in it, but otherwise, I mean, it looks great. We'll look here down the gutter. You know, it looks good. You know, again, though, no rust or anything, and looks in good shape. You can see a little chip right there on the door, or actually on the edge of the fender. Some little chipping here on the hood. And, you know, when you look far, you know, here I am about, I don't know, 8-9 feet. You know, you don't notice a lot of the stuff. It's just when you get up close on it, I'm 3 feet away, and you start noticing, you know, little chips and age, which isn't a bad thing. I mean, I kind of like cars with older paint because what you say is what you get. And a lot of cars with new paint, you know, you never know what's going to come out. So this is just a really honest little car, and we'll show you some other stuff on it. We'll go ahead and take a peek inside. Pulled it in the shade so you can see it just a little better. Overall, I really like the interior, and like the combination color wise and stuff. It looks great, and I love the way the dash looks. Steering wheel, you can see a couple little tiny cracks in the steering wheel, you know, nothing real bad. And main thing here we're looking at for sure is just interior in general, but I'm looking for structural stuff. This little hole here is actually for a light actuator for the dome light. It's actually missing, so that's not working, but easy to fix if you want to put one in. And but what I'm looking here for is, you know, don't damage or anything inside the jam. You know, it looks real good. You can see the original VIN is there. You can see across here there's no rust, you know, no accident damage at all. Looks in good shape. You look at the original door panel. Again, it's in overall nice condition. This is actually a Chevy 400, and that's probably like the trim, 400 trim. I'll have to look up what that means. And I think that's a little bit more deluxe interior. You can see here a little rip on the door panel, but overall it looks good. You look inside the edge of the door here, you know, in good shape. I mean, these cars, you know, really didn't survive. You don't see many of them. You know, for a long time it was, you know, Granny's grocery getter, and so a lot of them got put in the junkyard and stuff, and so it's actually hard to find one of these in this condition. And I love station wagons, as I mentioned before, and nice thing is they're really useful, and you can take the family out in them, and they're very stylish, and go to the beach, and you know, go to the mountains, and you know, just cruise around. And you can see here it's got a rip right there in the door panel, a little warped here. Now when I'm talking about going to the mountains, I mean, you're not going 4x4, but yeah, you can put a rack on the top and head to Yellowstone or something, and have a good time. We'll go ahead and show you how the seat folds forward. There's actually a little lever you can see over there. And you just flip it, and then this lays out. So that's actually kind of nice, and you can haul cargo and stuff in there, and or take a little nap. Go ahead and look in the passenger side. One thing I'll show you how nice these doors shut. You know, they shut really nice, and so we'll go ahead and look here on the front again. Go ahead and look at the dash. It's kind of nice. Got the original bag for the owner's manual, and you don't see those too often with the bag actually intact. Glove box light works. Glove box looks good. It's kind of funny, that was their idea of a cup holder, these two little circles. Now you get about 150 in a car, and you can see in the jam here, you know, looks really good. You know, again, no damage. It's just really important just to look on these cars in general. You know, any car. You can see here the door panel on this side is actually in pretty good shape. Go ahead and look in the back here. You can look at this tray. Again, when it's laid down, and then you just flip it up. Just lift right there. And just flip it back, and again, it looks nice. Nice seat, headliner, looks really good. You know, I didn't see any rips or anything in it. Pretty clean. Go ahead and look at this jam here. Yeah, I don't see any issues here. Look inside the door. You know, very clean. We'll go ahead and open the back. Now, one thing you have to have is the window down to open this. There's a little latch, and you just flip it up. Could have put it down a little nicely though, but I let it fling down. This is one area that really can get really rusty on any station wagon, and this one looks really good, and looks nice. Again, you can see there's no damage inside here. Underneath here is the original floor. Just a little bit of surface rust. Nothing major. Be easy to repaint this if you wanted to. You could just paint it black, but again, this is really in good shape, and that's one reason I didn't paint it. That way you can just see it, and very clean. Inside here is the where the spare tire went. And now it's got the battery back here. A lot of hot rod guys did this for take the weight off the nose and balance it out in the back, but you can actually see the original sticker back there for the storage for the jack. And it's kind of funny they put it upside down, and so it's kind of interesting. So anyways, hope that gives you a good idea. I just wanted to show you the windows rolling up and down real fast. I'll show you the other side at the same time. You know, they actually roll up real nice and down. You can see that one. I forgot to point out on that window over there, one of the felts is missing on the passenger side there. What I mean by the felts is right here. It's actually missing on that one. And we'll go ahead and I'll start here and roll this one up. You know, again, it rolls up and down nicely. I'll go ahead and you can see that one rolling up and down nice. Yeah, you would think that rolling up a window wouldn't be that big a deal, but you know, on these old cars, if you've owned them before, it's not like a Honda Accord. There's a lot of finesse and, you know, oiling and different things, the windows and greasing. So these are nice, and they roll up and down the channels nice. Out here in Oregon, it's pretty nice. You know, you just follow the cattle truck home and throw on a couple steaks, warm up the grill, you're ready to go. So we like them fresh. So I'm going to go ahead and do a little cold start. Here you can see I got my Lucky Birkenstocks on, and so we'll go ahead and I'm not, you know, in old Chevys, it's kind of interesting. You don't have to have the key to start it, and you can put the key in there. I forgot it in the shop, but usually the key's in there for, you know, to lock it, and but you can actually start it. So anyways, we'll go ahead and pump it 3 times and turn her over. Sounds real good. The gas gauge does work. I'm almost out of gas, but you can see the tack is working, and but it actually runs pretty good, starts up good. See here, it is cold, and sitting at 40 psi and the voltmeter. So we'll go ahead and show you under the hood. We'll take it out for a little drive, and after she warms up. Looks like I got a little helper. This is my little English Bulldog Stanley. You're going to start seeing him in some of our videos. Kind of a cute little guy. He's about 4 months old. But we'll go ahead and pop the hood open. I was hoping Stanley could reach up there for me, but I don't think so. Anyways, what we have here is obviously not a 6-cylinder, like it says on the side of the car. This is a 350. Pretty nice little motor. Sounds great. We'll start it up here in a minute, and we'll scare Stan. He's over there waiting for all the excitement. And but what we got is an Edelbrock Performance carburetor on it, 4-barrel, and it's got I think it's a 650. You can see it here. We'll show still photos. It's actually pretty new. And you'll notice one thing here, we've got a dual snorkel on it. Actually, we kind of built that, thought it'd look cool, and had an extra snorkel hanging around and thought it would look nice. You'll see a intake manifold. It's a Dart Sportsman intake manifold, and it's got, this is what's pretty cool. Here you can see here, Camelback double back heads. See right there. And a lot of people put those in a lot of little hot rods and stuff. It's very popular back in the day. And so the valves are 194 and 160. If you look right here, there's a little tag. Well, it's not a little tag. There's a little stamp pad down here. And the end of it says TDS. I did look that up, and I can't find TDS anywhere. I know TBS is 350. I found a couple little sites mentioning about that code, but I just couldn't, you know, I was just looking at a lot of suffix codes, and I couldn't see that suffix code. So hopefully someone can help us with that. But that's 350 block, Camelback heads, and sounds really good when it starts up. We'll just look inside the firewall here. You know, again, it looks in good shape. You can see the inner aprons look good, no damage or anything. And I can see right here, you can see around this shock tower, a couple little welds going on. I don't know if it was to reinforce it, but when I show the video underneath and photos, there's not any damage or anything underneath, so I'm not 100% for sure what happened there. But you can look at the frame rail. Everything looks really nice and straight up here. Really important. So enough of me rambling there. You can see the tag there, the cal tag is still intact. So we'll go ahead and fire her up right now. You'll hear it's got a little bit of a cam. You know, you usually just pump it a couple times and it fires right up. Runs pretty smooth, but you can hear the cam in it a little bit, especially when we go back to the exhaust. And so it's got a Lunati cam. And the engine's been balanced too. I have a receipt for that. I don't have a lot of information in general, but just know certain stuff that was written down. But go ahead and rev it up a couple times. You know, sounds great. And you can see that aluminum radiator, a little shroud on it. And I'll walk back here to the back. You can see it running. Go ahead and rev it up. You know, sounds nice. You can hear the cam running, and it's just really healthy sound. You can see it's also, when we were up there, it has electronic ignition on it as well. So anyways, we'll take some video of some other stuff. Riding around with me in the 64 Nova. It drives great. I just love a station wagon, especially a Nova. You don't see these that often, and it's just very comfortable to ride in, and you know, just handles nice. And I like the way the dash is laid out. I like the Nova. You got Nova and Chevy 2. You know, I think when they originally came out, they called them a Chevy 2, and I can't remember in 64 if they started calling them the Nova, but anyways, you can see here across the dash, speedometer, odometer's working. It's got a factory tag. You can see it actually works. Gas gauge works. And the idiot lights do work, but obviously the car's running, so they only kind of come on like the oil pressure if the oil pressure's lower when you turn the key on. But it's got aftermarket gauges underneath here. You can see the oil pressure's great. It's about 85 degrees out, but the temp stays real good, around 180, 185, and it's got a voltmeter. Obviously, you saw it had a radio. Right here, you can see the windshield wipers work. And then your heater, hopefully it'll run into anything. You can't hear the fan, but I can hear it running myself. The fan is working as well. And but overall, just a clean interior, and just kind of a joy to drive, really. It does stop really nice and straight. I'll just speed up here and come to a stop. You know, it doesn't really pull or anything, just comes to a nice crisp stop. But anyways, we'll cruise it around a little bit and show you some other stuff. Okay, here we are underneath the Nova. You're still going to see the still photos that we have in the auction, but I just wanted to do a video. We've been doing a lot of videos on cars lately to take a look underneath. It just gives a lot better perspective. You know, I can poke at things, talk about different things, and a lot of times when people are looking underneath, they don't exactly know what they're looking at, or, you know, especially if someone's trying to explain something. So anyways, we'll just walk around underneath of it and take a look. So up here in the front, you know, one of the main things that I want to look at in a car, you know, when I first look at it, you know, I think, hey, you know, pretty car, but I want to get underneath. So I hop underneath automatically and see what's going on underneath and look at the structure and stuff. But you can see inside here, I'm looking for accident damage. You can see there's no repairs or anything like that in the upper aprons. In the fender aprons, they all look really good. You can see up there in the spring perches, very nice condition. I don't see any issues going on up there. You can see up there underneath the spring perch and up here on the firewall. Looks good. And I'm calling that the firewall. Obviously the firewall's on the inside there, but this is the continuation of it right here on the floor. But overall looks real nice. You can see the radiator support looks in good shape. We'll take a look at this side. You know, again, not any issues that I see. You know, very clean aprons. We'll look around here to the other side. You know, no crinkles or anything. You can see the floor in good shape. You can look at the frame rail. You know, very straight, not rusty. You know, very solid. It's got drum brakes up front. You know, suspension components all look good. Brake lines looking in good condition. I don't see any cracks or anything on them. And you know, some of the, you know, like the sway bar here, you can see some little tiny cracks. You know, again, it's nothing I'd probably really change, but if you wanted to change some of that stuff down the road, you could. You can see here it's got a new starter in it. You know, the engine is in really good shape. It's all painted and stuff. You can see there it's got a new gasket on it. The engine actually, and it's pretty fresh. I don't have any paperwork on it. It's a 350, and you got a turbo 350 transmission, and shifts very good. You can see there the exhaust. Sorry about that with the camera. Exhaust goes all the way back. It's got headers on it, and it sounds really throaty. I mean, it has a great sound, and you can see it's got resonators here on the back too. You know, obviously on both sides. I don't know why I always explained both sides, but obviously if it's got dual exhaust, it's going to have resonators and mufflers on both sides. But anyways, the exhaust looks real nice. If you look here at the floors, very nice. You know, very solid. No signs of any rust. You look inside the rockers here. Again, very, very clean. And you look here back on the leaf spring perch. You know, no rust. You know, everything looks very clean. The rear floors look nice as well. All the floor supports look really good. Go over here on the passenger side. Again, the floor looks really nice. Frame rails look in good condition. You can see here on the inner rocker, again in excellent shape. You know, no corrosion around the supports. You know, it's just, this is important stuff to look at when you're looking at a car. This here is a transmission cooler. It'd probably be better, they put this on it, but if this was tilted down a little bit so airflow could get through here. Obviously it's still going to cool, or a little scoop that helps air get through there. And you can see here the battery cable runs all the way to the back. That's what that wire's for. And that is sitting in the area where the spare tire would have went. We'll show you back there. You can see here it's got air shocks on it. You know, this sounds real good. It's got a fairly new U-joints in it. Look up here in the front. You know, it's a new U-joint. Transmission was overhauled a while back. Again, I don't have any paperwork on it, but it does shift nice and works good. And also no signs of any leaks or anything on the floor. We'll go back here. You know, the trunk drop-off. You can put that light up, just there we go. Trunk drop-off looks really good. You can see the original spot welds. So it's got the original quarter on it. showed pictures of this earlier. You can see a couple little bubbles and stuff on the quarter. And this is really hard to see. There's a couple little tiny bubbles there and a little tiny paint crack here. Might be some thin filler right in here. But you know, when you get this repaired one day, you'll fix all this, so it won't be that big a deal. But I just wanted to show it to you underneath here. And we'll go here and look in the back. You know, again, you can see that no accidents or anything. You know, it hasn't been butted in the back or anything. And all the supports look really good for the springs. You can take a look here. Yeah, it's really solid floor. Obviously, that's the gas tank. Right here is where a lot of cars rust out. And this is the area for the spare tire. You know, again, that's very good. You can see the original spot welds going across here as well. And up inside the wheel lip there. But this side looks really in nice shape. We'll come around here to the front. You know, again, the car's in really good condition. You can see those couple little bubbles right there. You know, you don't see 64 Nova station wagons very often, and you know, it's just a good looking car. So if you got questions for me, you can email me, you can call me, make the comments on Bring a Trailer. Be glad to answer, and hope that you enjoy the car and enjoy the auction. Thanks for looking.